Today I'm going to be using Terraform to provision infrastructure on GCP. Basically, I'm going to be creating new virtual machines. Then I'm going to use Ansible to harden those machines. I'm going to make it so this process is automated and less prone to errors. So let's start. I'm going to create my project structure, cd into it, and open my project on Visual Studio Code. I'm going to expand my infra directory, go to variables.tf, and those are going to be the variables that I'm going to use in my project. My GCP project, my region, zone, the instance type, and the image. Go to main.tf. I'm going to specify that that's a GCP project. I'm going to create my Ansible control instance. That's basically going to be my Ansible master. And upon creation, I'm going to run the control setup.sh that is just going to update my machine. And then I'm going to install Ansible. All done, I'm going to open an integrated terminal, cd into my Terraform directory, run Terraform init, Terraform apply. One resource was added. If I go to my cloud console, you can see that I have nothing. If I refresh my page, I have my Ansible control machine. I'm going to SSH into it. I'm in. I'm going to generate the SSH keys that Ansible is going to use to control the host's machines. I'm going to cat it. I'm going to provision my first target VM. Back to VS Code on main.tf. I'm going to add this scope that is going to generate the machine Ubuntu target 1. That upon creation is going to run the target setup.sh script. So let's write it. I'm going to create the user Ansible and I'm going to add it to the sudo group. I'm going to use this user to control the target machine. Then I'm going to alter the sudoers file so that user Ansible can run sudo commands without being prompted for its password. Then I'm going to set up the SSH directory. Then I'm going to inject into it the SSH keys that were generated by Ansible control. This way, the Ansible control machine can SSH into this machine. All done, I'm going to run Terraform apply again, and only the new infrastructure is going to be provided. All done, as you can see, I have one resource added. Back to my cloud console, if I go to my VMs and refresh the page, I can see my Ubuntu target 1. Nice, so we have a new machine, and now I'm going to show you how you can use Ansible to easily harden every new machine that you create. Back to our Ansible control machine. I already have Ansible installed. I'm going to create my Ansible directory, and then I'm going to create my host.ini file that's going to be an inventory of controlled servers. I'm going to add to this file my target machine. I have to specify its IP, and the Ansible user is going to be the user Ansible that we generated upon the machine creation. Save the file, and I'm going to create my hardening.yaml file. This is going to be a simple playbook that is going to harden all of the hosts under the servers block on my host.ini file. I'm going to start by specifying the vars SSH port 22 and allow users Ansible. Then I'm going to specify the handler to restart SSH. We're going to need it later. The first two plays of my playbook are going to be to update and upgrade my machine. Then I'm going to install several security packages. I'm going to use the apt module. I'm going to specify UFW, fail to ban, unattended upgrades, audit D, IDE, and Linux. And I'm going to specify that I want the state to be present. That's basically going to run apt install each one of those packages. After installing the UFW package, I'm going to enable UFW. And I'm going to deny everything with the exception of one allow rule for SSH using the SSH port variable that we had before. Then I'm going to start hardening my SSH. I'm going to look for this file, and I'm going to look for this line, and I'm going to change it so this line takes place. And after it's done, I'm going to restart SSH. After disabling root login, I'm going to disable password authentication. You're only going to be able to SSH into this machine using SSH keys. How am I going to do this? I'm going to look for this file, then I'm going to look for this line, and I'm going to change it so this line takes place. And after that, I'm going to restart SSH. There are a few other maneuvers that I can perform, but just for the sake of this video and just to move forward and do something else, my next play is going to be to harden the kernel. How am I going to do this? I'm going to find this file. I'm going to add this content to it. And finally, I'm going to apply sysctl. Save the file. Now I'm going to run this playbook. All done. As you can see, we have 10 changed and 0 failed. We simply ran all of the tasks that I specified in my playbook, meaning that the target machine is now hardened following the specifications from my playbook. This means that I could successfully use Ansible to automatically disable root login, disable password authentication, set up a firewall and a few rules. Repetitive tasks that are prone to human error. I could make a mistake doing those things manually. And I'm going to show you another advantage of this whole thing. Back to my Terraform file, main.tf. Let's say that I want to add another instance. I'm simply going to copy this block. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to call it target instance 2. Now if I run Terraform apply, I'm going to provision this new VM. All done, one new resource added. Back to my Google Cloud Console. I'm going to refresh the page. I see I have a new machine and that's its IP. Can easily harden this machine as well. Back to my Ansible control machine. I'm going to edit my hosts.ini file. And I'm going to add my second machine with its IP. Now I can run the same playbook again, and it's going to apply to the new machine. All done, 0 failed. We had 2 changes on target 1 and 10 changes on target 2. What does that mean? So our Ansible playbook ran the tasks only where it was needed. So for example, in the task disable root login, it wasn't necessary to be run again on target 1 because this machine went through it already. But target 2, our new machine, was changed. And the same happened on a few other tasks. And that's how we can combine Terraform and Ansible for a complete automation. You're going to be using Terraform to provision new infrastructure, and you're going to be using Ansible to run commands on this new infrastructure. You can use what I have just shown you to create dozens of new machines and harden them automatically. If you have done this manually, as I said, like you're prone to human error, you may be going to forget to harden something somewhere, and it's simply better to use Terraform and Ansible.